Hey guys, here and gals, here we are with another episode of Steeds, the online motorcycle magazine for real bikers who ride real motorcycles. Today, we're going to take the baffles, going to fire the beast up once, take the baffles out. Just need 2 Allen head bolts on each side, take them out. Take the baffles out, then we'll start it up again and see which way we like it better. Since I'm a huge believer in that adage, loud pipes save lives, got a feeling I'm gonna want to leave the baffles out. And it is true, loud pipes save lives. They might claim not to see us whenever they T-bone us while they're making that left turn, hand turn, but they cannot say they can't hear us when our pipes are loud enough. Even over their jams. God, I hate it when people call their music their jams. It sounds so non-white and so gay. But anyway, that's what we're gonna do. When this thing was EFI, before I converted it to carburetor, you couldn't just take the baffles out. It had a non-programmable computer on it, and you have to have the air and gas mixture, exactly correct for optimum running according to your exhaust flow. You got to have them all in sync with each other, I should say. And with the EFI, non-programmable EFI, there was no way for me to adjust the air and fuel mixture. It would just run the way it was programmed from the factory to run. So although Harley did a good deal making these come out so easy, they put them on a bike that you couldn't just rip the baffles out or change the pipes to your liking anyway, because you couldn't program the computer. Some of these though were made with a carburetor right from the factory. This here was a cop bike, and it came with EFI. I wish it would have came with a carburetor. It would have saved me a lot of trouble, but I probably wouldn't have got it so cheap either. The only reason why I got it cheap is the guy I got it off, he thought the bike was in really, really bad shape. I don't think he well, not that having to put a carburetor on it is a real easy fix and get rid of the computer. It wasn't a real easy fix, but it was the right fix. And if it had been running right, I wouldn't have got it for such a good price. I got it for a good price, put some money into it, but I still think I'm ahead of the game. In Pennsylvania, you have to have baffles in your pipes. We have vehicle inspections and you have to have baffles in there. So a lot of times we'd buy these little cheap $5, $10 baffles, and you drill a hole in your straight pipe, put it in there, screw it down. Here Harley pretty much did the same thing. It's a little bigger baffle, and it quiets it down, I think, a little bit too much, a little too much. We're going to see what the difference between the two is, and then we'll decide how we're going to run it. But all right, are you ready? Well, that wasn't a bad throaty little rumble. We'll see what it sounds like with no baffles. Okay, I didn't want to be filming the whole time. I was struggling to get these baffles out. And that's what we're taking out of them. And we just put these caps back on. And we're going to fire it up, see how it sounds. All right, you heard a little popping, well, a little bit of a miss, you could call it. That's because we got to adjust our fuel to match the freer flowing pipes now. A lot of people say, oh, you need that, back pressure to run right. To an extent, that's true. You have to have the back pressure and the fuel and air mixture coincide with each other. And you do need a little bit of back pressure. You don't need this much back pressure. And we'll get the carb. I'm just going to enrich it just a wee little bit. And I'm thinking that'll probably make it run smooth. We'll give it a shot here. Okay, folks, I turned it just, there's a adjustment screw for fuel mixture. I turned it just a quarter of a turn. We'll see how it runs now. Well, I don't know. I don't think it sounds much louder, but it might sound a little meaner, a little throatier. It's running good. Just took a quarter turn. But if it was EFI, you wouldn't have that quarter turn to take. You can't adjust it if it's a non-programmable EFI system, and that's what this was from the factory. But well, let us know what you think. Which does it sound better, with the baffles in, the baffles out? I'm gonna leave them out for now, ride it around a little bit, see what I think of it. But we're gonna have a little talk about insurance here. The insurance as in the company, you pay to insure your bike. But I'm gonna put my tools away, put the bike away, and I'll be back with you. Okay, I said we'd have a little talk about insurance. Let me take a little drink here. Coca-Cola. Why Coke instead of Pepsi? Because Coca-Cola never hired Michael Jackson to advertise for them. It's good enough reason for me. Besides that, Coke tastes better. And it comes in red cans. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about insurance, like we carry on our bikes, cars, whatever. In every state and union now, you're forced to carry it. Sometimes I think that's a good thing. Sometimes maybe not such a good thing. Here in Kentucky, in my county, my county and the next county over, they claim that like almost 30% of the people don't carry it anyway. And so, but anyway, the reason why we're talking about insurance is because this weekend, me and Dimples had planned to go for a bike ride. We did go for a bike ride, but it was held up a little bit because I went and I checked my emails because I'm waiting for one of the Motorcycle Magazine's editors to email me back. And by the way, if you're watching, you haven't done it yet. Damn. Have some manners. Don't leave me waiting like that. But anyway, I got all my emails and I checked and they said my insurance had been canceled. Not on my motorcycles, that's from a whole different company. But on my cars. I have a Chevy Trailblazer that shouldn't even be called a Chevrolet because it's mostly Japanese and Chinese parts other than like the frame and some of the body parts. They may as well just call it a Mitsubishi Trailblazer. And then I have an HHR. It probably has a lot of Jap parts on it too, but it's really cool looking. I think they're a neat looking little car. Kind of like driving a go-kart, but I like it. But anyway, my car was setting in Milton, West Virginia, the HHR, and we were here at the farm in West Liberty, Kentucky, and I get on to check my email, and it says my insurance has been canceled by Geico. You know, the company with the weird little lizard as their mascot. Anyway, that's who I had it with, and they just canceled me. They said it was because of default on payment. I'm like, what the hell? I never got no notice that I was late. I never got no notice that I owed for insurance. My car's 100 miles out. It's about 100 miles from here to Milton. My car's 100 miles out. And come Sunday, I'm looking to have to drive it back home. Dimples is going to drop me off at it, and I'd bring it back home. So I'm like, holy shit. So I called, got some really rude little bitch in there, and she said, well, I can't really talk to you about it. You got to call in Monday. I can reinstate it for you, though, if I'll have to patch you over to someone else and you can pay your bill. So what had happened was, whenever I took out the policy, because I recently changed policies just because these insurance companies keep raising rates, and raising rates. Not because of anything we do. It's not because we got drunk. You know, that's not why my rates were raised. It wasn't because I got drunk and got nailed for a DUI. I can understand that. It wasn't because I had 3 wrecks this year. I haven't had any. I haven't had a wreck that was deemed my fault since I was 17 years old. And I'm 1 or 2 years older than that now. But seriously, not since I was 17 have I had an accident that was deemed to be my fault. And still the rates keep going up. My Cadillac Hearse rates, they went up. I called in, I said, why is this happening? And they said, well, probably a lot of cars of that make and model had accidents last year. Oh, come on. It's a 97 Cadillac Hearse. How many Cadillac Hearses, 97 models, were involved in accidents last year? So anyway, I changed the insurance. I used to have well, I'll get into that deal. Remind me to tell you about Haggerty. But anyway, Geico is what we're talking about now. They said that I was on a paperless plan. Anybody that knows my low-tech redneck ass knows that I wouldn't sign up for a paperless plan. You get all your notices on email. Crock of shit. And the other thing is, they put me on for automatic payment on my credit card. Another thing that I would never do. There's just too much that can go wrong with that. There's so much fraud on credit cards now and so many hackers. You end up changing your credit card number at least a couple times a year. I sure as hell do. And I had some fraudulent charges from somebody who was billing it as eBay. I guess eBay says these aren't their charges, but that's what the name comes up. Sometimes it comes up eBay, sometimes it comes up Amazon. Amazon are scammers anyway. If you have an Amazon credit card, no matter what, you're going to be charged for some of their Amazon TV things, whether you sign up for it or not. Then you got to call and you got to fight with them about it. Eventually, they'll say there was a little bit of a problem and, so many people got charged. They don't think you should be angry about it. I think what it is, when they get caught, they admit that they screwed up. But I got a feeling if they don't get caught, they don't do anything to remedy the situation. It's not like they're going to go out on their own and say, whoa, we found a problem. We're going to take that off your bill. You have to confront them. Anytime you have a credit card, make sure you check each and every charge every month. Dimples wasn't doing that, and last month, I think she got a credit of $675 because they were all false charges that the credit card admitted were false charges. So you might be paying for a lot of things you didn't really get if you don't pay close attention to what you're doing. But anyway, my insurance was canceled. Not a good thing. I called up, got it reinstated, and then I called back today. The one lady let me go through the whole spiel about what happened, and then I was accidentally disconnected. Sorry, can't believe it was an accident. So I had to call up again, and I was really irritated. And I was acting really, surly and just being a prick, really, because I was angry. But really, the girl on the other end of the phone was being nice, really nice, and she was professional. She admitted that the way Geico is doing this, it's not right. She said a lot of the salespeople for Geico, they automatically take you off of paper just so they can quote you a better price, trying to get the price down so that you'll go with it. And even if you don't ask to be. She also said they'll put you on automatic a lot of times without you asking. She admitted this. And she changed it back to paper, okay? But get this. It's $21 more to go on paper. They charge you $21 to mail your bill to your house. Talk about adding insult to injury. They're sending you the bill and then charging you $21 more on your insurance to do that. That sucks. That sucks big time. But the woman was cool. And what she did for me was she lowered the amount of mileage that I drive the HHR, and she got me a $29 refund. So that pays for me going back onto paper and then some. All right, but it's a screwed up deal that you got to play these games with them, and it was a screwed up deal. If I wouldn't have checked my email, I would have been driving that 100 miles home with no insurance. What if I got pulled over? I'd be paying a fine for not having insurance. What if I had a wreck? It's doubtful I'm going to have a wreck that's my fault, but what if I did? I'd be up shit creek. I'm not one of these people that rent and lease everything. I own everything. I own my farm outright. Someone wanted to sue me, and if they had a good case, I'd be in a world of hurt. So it's bullshit. One other thing about insurance you might not think of, because I didn't. I knocked a couple teeth here out a little over a year ago. I was going down the road in my Sportster. Shoot, just got over having my shoulder operated on. And I'm cruising down the road behind a truck. And here in Eastern Kentucky, you have a lot of selfish people that don't think about anyone else. Someone was hauling scrap. They didn't think about little pieces falling off their bed later. They must not have swept off their bed. I'm going down the road. This piece, they hit a bump. It flies up, smashes me in the face, tears a couple of my teeth out. I was shitting myself. And I came home and I called Dimples right away, got her on the iPad screen, and I said, this is bad, and I'm covering up my mouth. And she said, oh, let me see it. Well, when I let her see it, you could tell by the look on her face that it was like an oh shit look. But she tried to smooth it over and said, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It was very bad. And I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get implants or something here. I'm not going around, looking like I'm originally from Kentucky, because I'm not. I say that. This is some Kentuckians. A lot of Kentuckians don't practice good dental hygiene, and so they're going around with not a tooth in their mouth by the time they reach 30. Some, okay? Not all. But anyway, I didn't want to look like I had been, born and raised in Eastern Kentucky. And those implants are expensive. And Dimples said, well, you got insurance on your bike, right? And I did, but it didn't have full coverage. And she says, no, you have insurance, medical insurance. So sure enough, I had medical coverage. Everybody does. If you have insurance, you have medical coverage. And I turned it in. I got my two teeth replaced. All was good. If I was a multimillionaire, I'd get those damned implants, all my teeth replaced. You never have to worry about getting a cavity. I wondered if they were going to feel the same, and they do. They feel exactly like your real teeth. But keep that in mind if you ever go down, even if you don't have full coverage, God forbid you go down, but if you do and you don't have full coverage, it doesn't matter. If you have insurance, it will pick up your medical and it will put teeth back in your mouth. And I don't want to go around without teeth. But you all take care. I hope you got something out of this episode of Steeds Motorcycle Magazine. And we'll have another episode real soon. You take care.